Laying the groundwork for an economic recovery can be slow work. Here at this green housing development in Exeter, but also across the country. But today, sunnier news. Britain is no longer in recession. The 2 quarters of contraction at the end of 2023 have been short and shallow. And this year's first 3 months show positive growth of 0.6%. But despite this, Verto Homes says operating a business in the UK has become a struggle.
We've been building houses for 15 years now, and it just seems to get harder and harder with regards to the planning system. More red tape, more hoops to jump through. It's still just as hard to get projects through planning as it was 15 years ago.
In Oxfordshire, the Prime Minister and the Chancellor want to convince you an economic corner has been turned. This is where Siemens builds the magnets to their new generation of MRI machines. The Chancellor wants to see more of this kind of investment in Britain's future.
Well, of course, it's encouraging to know that in the last quarter the UK economy grew faster, not just than France or Germany, but also the United States. And I, fully accept that people have been going through a very difficult time. But what I would say is, looking forward, we do have some really good prospects.
Can you be honest with people at home? In that broad picture, the economy has grown less than 1% in the last year. If you look at GDP per head, which kind of measures how good people feel, yes, it's up today, great news, but actually it's lower than where we were.
Well, GDP per head has gone up since 2010. In fact, it's gone up by more than France, Finland, Norway, Netherlands, Canada, lots of countries.
But it's gone down since last year and down since 2019.
Yes, it's gone down in lots of countries because we had a once-in-a-century pandemic and an energy shock.
Over the past 2 years, GDP per person, a bellwether for how rich people really feel, has been falling. Today, at last, it was on the rise again, but sadly not enough to compensate for the recent decline. Now, the Shadow Chancellor says you're gaslighting the British public. Do you reject that claim?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if she thinks that it's some kind of spin to say that the UK is attracting more investment from foreigners wanting to build factories and offices abroad than anywhere else in the world apart from the United States and China, I would say the opposite, actually. The person who's doing the gaslighting here is the Labour Party, who's saying that everything is going wrong with the British economy.
But the Shadow Chancellor was having none of it.
This is no cause for celebration, no cause for a victory lap. My ambitions for Britain are so much greater than merely just coming out of recession, which is all that Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt have achieved.
But Verto says all politicians need to get serious on planning reform if they want stronger economic growth to last.
We're here at the coalface, we know what's going on, and we know what needs to happen to change it. We're not heard. Change is not coming. We'd like to see it, but unfortunately, it's just broken promises after broken promises.
Look around here. Amazing to see MRI machines being built, but when you compare us to other OECD countries, we have one of the lowest rates for MRI machines and scanners, holding back NHS efficiency. Why are we not investing? You used to champion capital investment. What's going on?
So you're absolutely right. The reason our productivity is lower in the UK is not because British people don't work as hard. It's because we haven't been traditionally investing in as much machinery as other countries. That is now changing, as evidenced by the fact this week we're announcing £2 billion of investment, which is going to help turn that around.
£2 billion is a drop in the ocean compared to a £2.7 trillion economy. Jeremy Hunt will need many more sunny days to convince voters his turnaround is working.
Helia Ebrahimi on the economy.